Welcome to video 3 for short paper 2. In this video, we're going to learn how to run a regression in Excel so that we can take the information we get from the regression and analyze the results. So let's get started. And actually, before we do, please keep in mind that short paper 2, the new due date is April 14th. It is no longer April 7th, so you have an extra week to work on that. Also keep in mind that we are doing a simple regression. The previous version of this document said multiple or multi-regression. So I just want to make you aware that we are keeping this simple with our regression analysis. Let's go to Excel. In Excel, we get back to the data that we've been working with for videos 1 and 2. The difference here, though, is that in Excel, regressions are a little bit more tricky, and for some reason, Excel prefers that the data be in columns as opposed to rows. This sequence of years needs to be in columns as opposed to rows. So in Excel, it's very easy to transpose rows to columns. So let me show you how to do that. Grab all the data, and what we're going to do is right click, copy, and then we're going to click off down here, right click, paste special, and we're going to go to transpose. What this will do is flip the data from its row orientation to a column orientation, just like that. And so we can now get rid of the row data. Actually, before we do, let's just make sure that everything flipped accordingly. So I can get rid of this country name, delete that, and let's just, look at a quick matching exercise here. So 1994 services was 1487, 1994 services 1487. Let me randomly select another one. 2000 primary education was 75799. 2000 primary education 75799. So what we have here is a perfectly transposed set of data. So what we can do, and all that means is, again, we went from row to columns. So let's get rid of this row data, and we're going to bring up the column data. We can move this over, make it look a little neater here. Okay. So we have what we need here, and we can now create our regression analysis, which is a very simple process in Excel. So again, we go to data analysis, and we want to select regression, hit OK. Input Y range is your dependent variable, and that's going to be GDP, so grab GDP and all the data associated with it. Input X range is going to be your services data. Well, in my case, it's services data. Really, the primary source is the general name of this. So whatever your primary source data is, that's what you want to put as your independent variable, which is your X variable. I'm not going to spend a lot of time going over what Y and X mean. I'll do that in class. Okay, we also want to click Labels, and we want to click Output Range. Click inside the box. Very important, you click inside the box before you click outside of this screen. Bad things will happen if you don't. So click inside the box, make sure you get that cursor going, and then just choose an area right here. That's fine, any area you want, and click OK. And there you have it. What you have here now is the summary output. You have your important data here in terms of the regression statistics. You have your ANOVA information. We're interested in not too much here. It's very important, but for this class we don't spend too much time interpreting it. What we actually spend time interpreting is going to be this information and your intercept, as well as your t-stat. Now let's take a quick look at the example paper that I put up by Sykes, which you should be able to use to analyze your data. So let's go to that paper, particularly this page, which is page 5. What we have here is I And for this paper, that would be the income. But for any paper or any regression equation, this is a regression equation, the I would represent the dependent or endogenous variable. So in our case, our dependent variable is GDP. So what we're saying is what other variable is going to have a correlation with GDP? And in our case, or in my case, I should say, services. So if I were to write my regression equation for the data that I have for Excel, these two data points particularly, I would say that GDP equals alpha plus beta, and I'll put something like S or beta services plus the error term. And so when you write your paper, that's as simple as it needs to be. Put your dependent variable to the left of the equality sign, and to the right, just put this, alpha plus beta, call your independent variable whatever you want, and then put plus error term. Again, the way we interpret this will be discussed more in class. And that's all. When you have questions, give me a call or shoot me an email. Happy data analysis.